Imagine a man so rich that when he went on a journey, kingdoms' economies collapsed. Gold lost its value. Streets glittered, and the world realized, for the first time, that the richest person to ever walk this planet wasn't a modern billionaire. It was a West African king traveling through the desert 700 years ago. But this isn't just a story about money. It's the story of how one man's journey reshaped continents, rewrote maps, and revealed a hidden empire most of the world didn't even know existed. Picture the Sahara heat shimmering like fire. A caravan stretches beyond the horizon, tens of thousands of soldiers, servants, scholars, slaves, horses, camels, and banners dancing in the wind. At the center of this golden river sits a man wrapped in embroidered robes, carrying a staff tipped with pure gold. A case? Name is Mansa Musa, Emperor of Mali. The man whose wealth was so enormous that numbers fail to express it. The world first heard of him in 1324, when he began a pilgrimage to Mecca. Kings traveled with guards. He traveled with cities. He didn't bring luggage. He brought treasure chests, gold bars, gold dust, gold ornaments, camels so weighed down with gold that their legs shook. Every stop he made Timbuktu, Gao, while a lot of people whispered, "Who is this man?" But no one was ready for what happened next. When he reached Cairo, legend says the streets stopped. Merchants froze. Children climbed rooftops to see him. And the Sultan of Egypt, one of the most powerful rulers of his age, felt a strange tension, because another king was about to outshine him in his own capital. Mansa Musa entered Cairo like a living myth. His robes shimmered. Oh. His guards carried spears plated in gold. His servants scattered coins just so the poor could pick them from the dust. And when the Sultan offered hospitality, Mansa Musa refused to kneel. "Bow to no king except God," he said, and the city held its breath. Then the impossible happened. Gold lost value. Prices crashed. The economy bent under the weight of his generosity. Historians call it the only time in recorded history when a single person controlled the global price of gold. To the people around him, he looked like a man giving away wealth. But in reality, he was announcing his empire to the world. Mali, a land so rich that gold flowed like a river beneath its soil. A kingdom whose power stretched from the Atlantic Ocean to the edge of the Sahara. And until that moment, the rest of the world had no idea it existed. As he continued his pilgrimage toward Mecca, the stories grew stranger. Mansa Musa paid for entire cities along the way. He freed slaves, fed villages, sponsored scholars, donated so much treasure to mosques that they still mention him in inscriptions. His generosity wasn't random, it was deliberate. A message carved in gold. Mali is here. His journey changed the map of the world. European cartographers, hearing rumors of this golden king, scrambled to update their charts. On the Catalan Atlas of 1375, they drew him sitting on a throne, holding a shining golden orb. This was the moment Africa became real to Europe, not as a blank space, but as a powerful empire, richer than imagination. But Mansa Musa's true legacy began when he returned home. He brought architects from across the Muslim world, scholars from Cairo, poets from Arabia, and he transformed Mali into one of the greatest centers of knowledge on earth. In Timbuktu, he built the legendary University of Sankar, a place where students studied astronomy, mathematics, medicine, law, philosophy, and theology. A place with hundreds of thousands of manuscripts, many still being discovered today. Imagine a city in the desert, lit not by gold, but by ideas. Mansa Musa didn't just build mosques, he built a civilization where learning became the treasure, where traders crossed half the world to buy books, where a forgotten empire became the beating heart of African knowledge. But behind all the gold, all the legends, all the myths, there was a man, a ruler who rose to power unexpectedly, a leader responsible not just for wealth, but for millions of lives. A king who understood something simple and brutal. Wealth means nothing unless it builds something that lasts. Some say he gave away so much gold because he believed it belonged to God. Others say he wanted Mali to rise above all other kingdoms. Some believe he knew that one day the empire would fade, so he carved its story into the world while he still could. When he died, Mali continued to shine, but not forever. Empires fall, cities crumble, gold fades, time sweeps everything. But the memory of Mansa Musa stands untouched, immune to decay. Because for all our modern billionaires, for all our skyscrapers, markets, corporations, satellites, and digital banks, no name has ever eclipsed his. Not Bezos, not Musk, not Rockefeller, not the Roman emperors or the Chinese dynasties or the oil kings of the Middle East. Only Mansa Musa, the man whose wealth was so vast, so immeasurable, that historians still say we cannot calculate it. And maybe that's the real legacy. Not the gold, not the palaces, not the maps, but the echo of a man who proved that greatness isn't measured by what you own, but by what you build, what you give, and how brightly you choose to shine in a world that often lives in shadows. To this day, when you walk through Timbuktu, the sand still whispers his name. The richest man who ever lived. The king who turned the desert into gold. The ruler who left behind something far more valuable than money. A story the world will never forget.